have their championship game, but right now it's all about Montana State and Idaho State, Krista. These are two teams that have battled back and forth throughout this conference tournament, and it's good to see the top two teams get after each other.
Definitely. I mean, Idaho State has made quite the run, and if you want to pick a dark horse in this tournament, I think they have proven themselves in that respect. Again, a little bit of revenge for this Montana State team as they were knocked off by Idaho State last year, number 9 versus a number 1. So I expect some competitive, good basketball today.
Yeah, these are two teams that are very familiar with each other. Remember, earlier in the season, they split with their head-to-head matchup. December 31st, Idaho State got the win, and then on March 1st, it was Montana State getting the win. But Tricia Binford, she has been in this position several times and is looking for an opportunity to finally punch her ticket to the NCAA tournament.
I mean, in her 12th year, and the last time they did punch a ticket to the NCAA tournament came in 1993, before her time.
Yep.
That was the Cass Bauer era, and as a girl growing up in Montana, everyone knew who Cass Bauer was, and she was a phenomenal player for the Cats. And again, I think this Cat team is hungry.
Yep.
They want to get there again.
As for Idaho State and Seton Sobolewski, the head coach of the Bengals, they've played 4 games over the course of, this will be their 4th game in the course of a week. Does it start to take a toll on a team physically?
Absolutely. I think, you know, we say road to Reno, and I've mentioned this before on the air, the road at Reno. This is a tournament of, I mean, they play a lot of games. And so this tournament starting on Monday, they have had to be poised and put together good basketball in order to get here. We know that Idaho State is a defensive-minded team, and they will not allow, you know, they really get after it on the defensive end.
Interesting player matchup here. Bianca Thacker for Idaho State had 18 points, averaging 18 points coming into this game, where you've got Peyton Ferris, the league MVP, and 16 points. She had a kind of struggled the first game of the conference tournament with foul trouble, but the second game really poured it on.
She did. I mean, you have to point to the depth of this Montana State team. It seems that every player steps up in different ways at critical times for this team. I mean, I want to talk a little bit about Annika Lai. She's coming off the bench, but she had a big game last game. They wouldn't be here without her.
Let's look at your Idaho State starting lineup. Isabella Vara-DeRay, 5'9" sophomore from the Canary Islands. Grace Kenyon, number 2, 6-foot sophomore from Washington. Bianca Thacker, she's a 5'11" freshman from Australia. Number 10, defensive specialist and the co-defensive player of the year, Freya Newton, 5'10" senior from New Zealand. And number 22, Lindsey Brown, 6'1" junior from Arlington, Washington. Really interested, really curious to see how this defensive matchup goes for Idaho State. They're scrappy, they'll get in your face, they'll get up and defend. But I don't know if they've seen a team that will execute at such a high level that Montana State will.
Well, Montana State is a team of finesse. And taking a look at their conference schedule, they won in 3 overtimes. And you can look at that in a couple different ways. You can say, hey, you know, they were really close calls, but this is a team that has persevered. A number 1 seed, and they've come into Reno and they've acted like it.
Those are your Idaho State Bengals, 18-13 overall on the season, 12-8 in Big Sky play. Let's switch gears, talk about Montana State. Your starting lineup looks like this. Number 2, Peyton Ferris, a league MVP, 5'9" senior from Twin Bridges, Montana. Number 12, Delaney Junker-Meyer, 6-foot junior from Spokane, Washington. Number 15, Riley Nordgaard, 5'10" senior from Canby, Minnesota. Hannah Caudell, 5'7" junior from Spokane, Washington. And number 4, Blair Braxton, 6'2" freshman from Highland Ranch, Colorado.
Got to look at that Braxton family. You got one starter playing for the Weber State men in the championship, and their daughter playing here for the Cats.
That's it. Yeah, no doubt. Weber State, Montana State, certainly with the tie in this one. And Weber State will be playing in the championship game later on tonight at 5:30. Riley Nordgaard being introduced, and I tell you what, she is as scrappy and as intense as a player as you will see. Her and Freya Newton will probably get after each other, and I joked to you off the air, somebody may come out of this matchup with a bloody nose.
Riley had a really good game in her last outing She had a double-double, and again, you see her, she's just relentless, and she plays a lot of minutes, and she's definitely a catalyst to this Montana State team. You know, we talk about Peyton Ferris being the MVP. I'm a firm believer that the MVP should come from the #1 seed team, because Peyton did something to get them there, and she is a heck of a player, but she has been plagued by foul trouble on and off through the conference run, and there have been other players on this team that have been able to step up at key times.
It's going to be a big issue in this one. One of the storylines you want to keep a close eye, foul trouble to Peyton Ferris. She's dealt with it the first game in the quarterfinals. Semifinals, she was able to withstand it a little bit, but it will be a key in this game. Set to jump up, Blair Braxton for Montana State will go up against Grace Kenyon. And we're ready to go. Fight for the ball is going to be controlled by Idaho State. Championship Saturday here in the Big Sky Conference.
Montana State comes out with their signature straight-up man-to-man defense. They do a good job switching and fighting through screens.
Grace Kenyon short on a baseline jumper. Montana State quickly with the rebound. Junker Meyer brings it down.
Hannah Caudell was battling an illness and missed the last week of play for the Cats, but she was critical in their first game. 25 points.
Peyton Ferris into the lane, turnaround shot. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Braxton nearly gets it, and she's able to slap it off an Idaho State player to keep Montana State alive with the possession.
I have been impressed with Blair Braxton, and I've said this before on the air. Big shoes to fill with Jasmine Holmes graduating last year, and I'm impressed with her long and lean frame, and she uses that, and she's a force in there for this Montana State team.
And she is able to at least keep the possession alive for Montana State. No score in this one early on. Up top to Ferris. She'll launch a long three-point shot attempt. Won't go. And there is Idaho State with the defensive rebound. Swings it over to Freya Newton, number 10, running the point for this Idaho State team. Up top to Grace Kenyon. Cross court over to Freya Newton. Back up top to Vera DeRay. And they're going to get Freya Newton with the travel. Picked up that foot. No score in this one. A minute gone. Big Sky Conference Championship Saturday. Hannah Caudell, number 23 for Montana State. Picked up there by Vera DeRay. Ferris on the baseline.
Idaho State team makes you work for everything on the defensive end.
Cross-court pass up and missed. Idaho State with the rebound.
Very physical team, Scott.
Yep, Idaho State good defensively early on. Here comes Freya Newton. Over to Kenyon. Tries to drive. Cross-court back to Freya Newton. Wide open three-point shot. Buried. Good
Freya
ball
Newton,
movement.
big basket. I've said this along the tournament that basketball is a game of momentum shifts. And if you are in this game right now, you want to come out of the chute and control that momentum.
Ferris, good look down low. Great pass. Leads to Montana State and their first points of the game. Lindsey Brown over to Freya Newton. She'll take another three. Can't get that one to fall. Rebound down low, still on the court, and is going to be kept alive by Idaho State. Freya Newton over to Vera DeRay.
Has capitalized on those loose balls. They are a scrappy team, and you will not see a player not go to the floor if there's a loose ball, and that's just the way Seton coaches. He wants his girls to get after it.
No doubt. Lindsey Brown tries to drive baseline, and she draws a foul into the game. Comes Annika Lai, number 3, 6'1" sophomore from Boulder, Colorado.
Who I think has been the difference maker for this Montana State team, just providing great minutes, key baskets. They wouldn't even be here in this game without Annika Lai.
Yeah, Vera DeRay comes around the curl, hits the three, and gives Idaho State the 4-point lead, 6-2. Hannah Caudell picked up, has to swing it over to Ferris. Ferris pump fakes, then goes low, and they have to kick it back out.
Shot clock ticking down to 10.
Caudell over to Ferris. Ferris will take her second three of the game and can't get that one to fall either. 0 for 2 from beyond the three-point line for Ferris. Still 6-2 our score. Idaho State with a 4-point lead.
To hand it to Weber State in the opening round, running a box and one on Peyton Ferris. I don't think she touched the ball.
Yeah.
In the first first half. She did have a couple touches in the second half.
Lindsey Brown, hook shot, off the glass and in. Good play set to isolate Lindsey Brown. She hooks it off the glass and gets it to go. 8-2. Pass to Ferris. Over to Junkermeyer for three. Won't go. Scrum down low for the rebound, and it will go to Idaho State. Foul on Montana State.
Montana State struggling from the field. 1 for 7. Basketball is a lot easier when the ball goes in the hole, Scott.
All right. Stephania Morris comes into the game. Or Stephania Orrs, excuse me, number 41. Crossing the timeline. Swings it over to side to Pasa, who just checked into the game. Orrs. Over to Kenyon. Kenyon push shot, can't get it to go. Rebound brought down by Junkermeyer from Montana State. Kicks it over to Ferris. Ferris drives and had a good look at the basket. Probably a good foul by Grace Kenyon, because Peyton Ferris was going to lay that up and in.
Peyton Ferris with the quick first step. She just is so strong. The physicality of that girl on both ends of the floor. She's a determined player.
No doubt. Peyton Ferris is going to check out of the ball game. Into the game will come Riley Nordgaard once again. Over on the sideline, Oleana Squires will inbound and has the ball at the top of the circle. Over to Nordgaard. Nordgaard tries to drive, and they're going to call a foul on Idaho State. Getting in there with that knee.
Schofield, referee antics. He reffed when I played.
Junkermeyer over to Nordgaard. Idaho State with the 8-2 lead. Rebecca Hatchard into the game for Montana State as well. Baseline drive, dish off. Rebecca Hatchard's got to go back and get it on the loose ball. Back to Nordgaard. Nordgaard straightaway three, can't get it to go. Rebound, Idaho State.
This Idaho State team just making it really hard for Montana State to find their rhythm on offense.
Freya Newton picked up by Hatchard, making her work for it. She swings it over to Saylor Grandin, who is into the game. Pull-up shot, got it.
Oh, and that is her signature shot for this tournament.
She's hit a game winner in the quarterfinals from that same spot, essentially helping getting a win over Northern Colorado, 60-59.
We've had some good games this week, Scott. Some battles.
Three-point shot up, high off the iron. Finally brought down by Idaho State. They lead by 8, 10-2. 4:50 and counting left to go in the first half. Freya Newton being guarded by Hatchard. Swings it over to Thacker. Over to Orrs. Orrs trying to turn the corner. She does, but Riley Nordgaard strips it away, but they're going to get Nordgaard with the foul. That takes us to our first time out. Idaho State leading by 10, 10-2 on WatchBigSky.com.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. Get a good feeling. Sometimes I get a good feeling. Yeah.
Looking for your next opportunity? Discover your opportunity at Idaho State University.
Ten to 2, Idaho State with an 8-point lead. Remember, Geico, your official auto insurance provider of the Big Sky Conference. Visit geico.com/save Or all you have to do, and to learn all about how Geico can save Big Sky alumni money on car insurance, Geico, proud corporate sponsor of the Big Sky Conference. All right, Idaho State dominating in this one early on, Krista, 10-2, as Montana State trying to get into some kind of flow offensively.
They have struggled with finding their offensive rhythm, which is a credit to Idaho State's defense. They don't give you anything, and this is a team that really makes it tough to score, and they're physical.
Down low, Brown, shot off the glass, misses everything, goes over the top of the backboard. She said she's fouled. She's like, look, I don't shoot shots like that if I'm not hit.
That was over the basket.
And the way she does shoot, she leads you to believe that she might have a case there.
She had a big game against Montana in the opening round, 16 points, 4 hard-fought rebounds.
Only on a Squires, tries to lay it up on a drive, can't get it to go. Quickly, here comes Grace Canyon going the other way. Over to Vera DeRay. Back to Orrs. Orrs down low is kicked away. Lindsey Brown was there to try to pick up that post pass, but couldn't quite get it to her.
You're seeing a patient Idaho State team on offense. They're spreading the floor, looking for good looks.
Down low, great entry pass, shot up and good. Wow. Great out of bounds play, Grace Canyon with the layup.
Grace Canyon with the athletic move, the 5'10" redshirt sophomore.
Double-digit lead for Idaho State. And a foul away from the ball, and it's going to go against Montana State. That's on Braxton. That's her second foul. More bad news for Montana State as she'll have to sit for a fairly significant amount of time. Inbound goes to Orrs, swings it back over to Grace Canyon. Hand over to Grandin. Almost lost the handle. She wants to look like she was going to pull up there for a moment. Dribble drive, swings it back over to Kenyon. Orrs.
Shot clock down to 8.
Vera DeRay will take a 3. Can't get it to go. Montana State with the rebound.
No one on the offensive glass for Idaho State. I know this is a team that has counted on the second and third shot opportunities through this tournament.
Ball's kicked away. Caudell trying to get it down to Peyton Ferris. Marguerite Barhoum checking into the game for Montana State. Up top to Ferris. Ferris trying to go to work in the post. Shot up and got it to go. That is just so
tough. She's just athletic, and she has just a little bit of hang time, which makes it tough to defend.
Only the 4th point for Montana State. 12-4 our score. Idaho State trying to pull the big upset against #1 seeded Montana State. Straightaway 3, Lindsey Brown won't go. Brandon can't get the rebound, tips it out, and it will stay with Idaho State. Sailor Grandin always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making plays.
She just puts herself in good positioning to be involved.
Yep.
She has a knack for the ball. She's scrappy. I think that's one way to describe this Idaho State team.
Sailor Grandin into the lane, pull-up shot, off the glass, won't go. Here comes Montana State quickly going the other way. Hatcher puts the foot on the pedal, into the lane, shot up and good.
That was nice. Montana State has done a really good job getting the ball down the floor. They do like to push the tempo, and good things happen when they push the ball.
Idaho State is led by 10, now lead by 6. 4-0 run for the Bobcats. Brandon down low to Lindsey Brown. Going to work on Peyton Ferris. Kicks it back over to Grace Canyon. Shot is blocked. Back up and gets it to go. If at first you're blocked, put it back up and in.
Maybe you're Grace Canyon.
Yeah, no doubt. Marguerite Barhoum running the offense. Ferris at the top, down low. Shot up and can't get it to go. Off the front of the iron, Annika Lai couldn't get the shot to drop. Annika Lai is going to come out of this ball game. Coming into the game will be number 33, Madeline Smith.
And you can argue on this Montana State team that there isn't one complete standout other than Peyton Ferris. I mean, Riley Norgard would definitely be right there. She's a veteran player, but they really spread the ball, and the depth has been a differentiating factor for this Montana State team.
Peyton Ferris, pull-up jumper, got it to go. 14-8, Montana State starting to get things going offensively, but still trail by 6 in this game to the Bengals of Idaho State. Brea Newton trying to create something offensively for the Bengals. Into the lane, cross-court pass, three-point shot for Orrs. Won't go. Brea Newton with the board. Swings it back over to Grace Kenyon. Newton over to Kenyon.
Idaho State likes that high post action, the high to low.
It's essentially how they were able to finally get past Portland State's zone yesterday.
Right, and Sailor Grandin really finding her rhythm in the high post. Montana State, they don't go away either on defense, though.
Tied up ball, possession arrow goes back to Montana State. 14-8, 50 seconds, under 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. In a quarter that has been mostly dominated by Idaho State, but Montana State starting to get things going. Hannah Caudell hands it off to Junker-Meyer to Ferris, down low. Spin move on the baseline, up and good.
Wow, that's a nice play by Madeline Smith. Good positioning. It's just critical to own that block down there.
6'2" freshman making her presence felt. And the lead is now 14-10, 20 seconds left to go. Over to Orrs. Back to Kenyon, pull-up shot, got it to go just inside the three-point line. Grace Kenyon has played well. 5 seconds left to go. Caudell on the left wing, into the lane, layup. Won't go, but she's fouled with 1 second left. As the drive game starting to work here for Montana State. Here's Caudell into the lane, picks up that foul, and she'll go to the free throw line.
If you're Seton, you struggle with a shot like that because she was off balance, putting it up. Oftentimes you'll call that a bailout foul. If you're Idaho State, you want to make Hannah have to earn a shot and earn that basket.
Both free throws go down. And Idaho State will sub out a little bit with 1.7 seconds left to go. Lindsey Brown will inbound. Hands it over to Orrs. Orrs will go a long shot, but will miss it, and that's how it ends. 16-12, 4-point lead for Idaho State, right here on WatchBigSky.com.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play, and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
We know we don't look
like most nurses you've met.
But when as a single mom, I needed to ensure a secure future for my son.
And I wanted to save lives.
We enrolled in the Montana State University College of Nursing's Caring for Our Own program.
At MSU, we received training that allows us to return home to treat our people. At Montana State University, we learn to heal and strengthen our communities.
Montana State trying to go to the NCAA tournament for the first time under Tricia Binford, but they got some work to do as Idaho State coming in as a 6 seed, playing their 4th game this week, leads by 4, 16-12.
Montana State feeling it, 1-4 in championships over the span of their Big Sky years. They definitely like to see themselves get to the big dance after a hard-fought 15-3 record, #1 seed. That takes some poise to get to the top of this league.
No doubt. Sailor Grandin inbounds. Idaho State's got the ball to start things off here. Isabella Vera DeRay as Montana State's trying to exert a little bit of pressure defensively. Trapping Orrs on that far side. She gets rid of it. Down low to Lindsey Brown. Loose ball stolen away, and here comes Riley Nordgaard. We haven't called her name much in the first quarter, but she's usually around. If there's a loose ball on the court, Riley Nordgaard's usually around it.
She has a very good knack for the ball. She's got size too. Watch that. Look at that nice. She just uses her body. And that's good timing right there. The 5'10" senior, that's a veteran senior play right there.
Averaging 14 points a game. That's her first 2. Struggled in the quarterfinal game shooting the ball. Had a big game in the semis. Good look, but can't fall for Idaho State.
Should be noted that Riley really gets on the glass too. Both her and Peyton Ferris in the top 5 for the conference in rebounding.
Ball stripped away, stays with Montana State.
She averages just under 8 rebounds a game. That's hustle right there.
Had a double-double in the semifinal game. She'll take a 3, and she'll bury the 3.
She is feeling it.
Does a Tiger Woods fist pump as she crosses the midcourt stripe, getting back on defense, and Montana State has their first lead of the game. 17-16, 8:47 left to go. Idaho State led by as many as 10 in the first quarter, but the Bobcats have come storming back. Saylor Grandin over to Grace Kenyon, back to Grandin. Down low to Lindsey Brown. Ball goes out of bounds, turnover back to Montana State, and the Bobcats feeling it now.
And that's what we've seen, though, is just a push and intensity on the defensive end for this Montana State team, which has created those offensive opportunities. But we've seen Idaho State more tentative on the offensive end.
Seemed like Idaho State was playing fast and loose early, got that 10-point lead, and then it's since tightened up. Caudell swings back over to Ferris, back to Nordgaard. Junker-Meyer will take a baseline 3, won't go. Rebound, fought for, on the court. Finally, Idaho State's got it.
Looks like it was off Peyton Ferris's foot.
Yeah, Bianca Thacker with the ball. 3-point shot for Orrs, got it. Orrs is there to respond as she did in the semifinal game.
She's just a freshman. Big Sky's gonna have to contend with her for a few years.
Ferris pull-up shot, and back and forth we go. We're all score at 19 apiece. 7:53 left to go here in the first half.
That's about as good as of a jump shot as I've seen. Peyton Ferris, just pure.
Shot for Grace Kenyon from the baseline, no good. Riley Nordgaard's there for the rebound.
And this is where the Cats like to be in their comfort zone. They like to push the ball.
Caudell for 3, won't go. Had a big time shooting the ball and fight for the rebound. Batted around, finally Idaho State's got it.
Madeline Smith could have had her hands on that one. I don't think she knew it had been, the ball was loose.
Brea Newton. Over to Orrs. Orrs will take the shot. She'll miss it, or she'll make it, but they're going to call a foul on Idaho State before the shot. Lindsey Brown.
Legal screen.
Yeah, clearing some space out for Orrs to take that shot and gets called for the foul. All square at 19 apiece. Riley Nordgaard's going to take a seat. Into the game will come Annika Lai for Montana State.
Think about the excitement of this game. I remember playing in some championships back in my day. And
ball down on the court, tie up, and it will stay with Montana State.
All of your energy and every bit of effort you've given comes down to one game.
Here comes Montana State, set to inbound. Side to Pasa into the game. Swings it over.
17 on the shot clock here. Cats got to make something happen.
Left wing. Hatchard over to Caudell. Thought about taking the 3. Junker-Meyer, though, is going to drive, loses the handle, and Saylor Grandin there for the steal. She wants to run, doesn't have numbers. She'll pull it back. Down low, good pass and a good shot.
What did I talk about? Saylor Grandin has a knack for where the ball should go. Good things happen when the ball touches her hands.
Bianca Thacker with the layup, and Idaho State back up by 2. Withstanding this Montana State run. Into the lane. Peyton Ferris, turnaround shot, and won't go for. Rebound brought down by Thacker. Back to Orrs, over to Grandin.
If you're Peyton Ferris, you have to find a balance of forcing and also realizing when you have two defenders hanging on you, someone's open.
Orrs gets a last-second call from Seton Soboleski with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Here comes Grandin going to work, kicking it out. Right wing three, won't go. Rebound brought down by Junkermeyer from Montana State. 21-19, 2-point lead. Ball stolen away by the Bengals.
That angle was just not there for Hannah. Right idea.
Third turnover of the game by Montana State. Idaho State with 5 turnovers in this game.
Those turnovers will become critical in the second half. Every single one of them will count.
10 seconds left. Bray Newton going to work. She'll kick it back over to Orrs, into the lane. Jump shot won't go. Rebound, side to Pasa, couldn't get it.
No call there.
Sailor Grandin comes back down with it. Junkermeyer dove for it. Grandin's able to pull it away.
You notice Idaho State comes up with those loose balls.
The 50-50 balls have gone Idaho State's way early on, and that's saying something against this Montana State team. Sailor Grandin, pull-up shot won't go, but there for the rebound is Bianca Thacker. She puts it back up and in.
Just Bianca Thacker putting herself in good rebounding position. You have to make those too. It's one thing to get the board, but putting them in is another story.
23-19, 4-point lead for Idaho State. Cross court, down low to Ferris. Ferris is fouled before she gets the shot up. That is the second team foul for Idaho State. And that takes us to break. 23-19, 4:32 left to go. Great championship action on WatchBigSky.com.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it Cranberry Almond. Give kind a try.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
Idaho State leading 23-19, 4:32 left to go. One thing you always keep an eye on as a former basketball player here in the Big Sky Conference is rebounding, Krista. And right now it's been all Bengals in that regard.
It has. They're on the boards 18-9, and they've gotten a lot of second and third opportunities, and that's what has given them this lead. Montana State is usually a tough rebounding team, so I'm sure Coach Binford over there is saying, hey, you better get after it on the glass.
Another rebound brought down by Idaho State as Brittany Kokendurfer pulls down an important rebound for the Bengals as they lead by 4 into the lane. Ball down on the court, finally brought down by the Bengals. Long shot is up and missed by Vera DeRay. And with 4 minutes left to go, Montana State has the ball. Squires tries to drive, kicks it back out. Cross-court pass.
Bengals have done a really good job taking away that transition for Montana State. They are a team that likes to get out and push the ball early.
And Riley Nordgaard rattles the 3 home once again. She's got 8 on the day.
It's been all Nordgaard and Ferris for this Cat team.
Nordgaard's got 8. And Ferris has 8 as well. Idaho State leading by 1, 23-22.
Shot
into
clock
the
down
lane.
to 6.
Grace Kenyon for 3, buries it.
Grace Kenyon.
26-22. Every time Montana State tries to come back, Idaho State answers.
She had 16 big points against Northern Colorado. I would say she's been a difference maker for this Idaho State team. They've got a few, though.
Nordgaard buries another three. She's feeling it, and she's in double digits, 11 points.
Got a shootout going on.
Yeah, we do. 26-25, 2:55 left to go here in the first half. Winner wins the championship and goes to the NCAA tournament. Down low to Brown. Ball's tipped away, goes out of bounds.
You got to watch that pass, Idaho State. I know Grace Kenyon's intentions were good, but got a lot of long arms for this Montana State team. You know, it's real hard to do that high-low action without a very crisp pass, and the timing has to be just right on.
Grace Kenyon's got 9 points to lead the way for Idaho State. Nordgaard's got 11 for Montana State. Turnaround jumper, can't get it to go. Grace Kenyon with a good look. Quickly in transition, Montana State, Peyton Ferris driving, can't finish, but she'll go to the free throw line. That's one thing Montana State's had success with on missed Idaho State shots, is really pressing the issue and not allowing Idaho State to set up that defense.
So true.
Peyton Ferris with 8 points, couple free throws here will put her in double digits. She hits her first one, she'll have one more.
It's safe to say that if you are going to take the ball to the hole against Idaho State team, there is going to be contact.
Yes, great point. Second one rattles in, Peyton Ferris has 10.
This is a team that doesn't shy away from that contact for sure.
Idaho State, Vera DeRay into the lane, down low, shot is up, can't get it to go. Sayla Grandin's there, ball's gonna be blocked away on her shot attempt. And here comes Riley Nordgaard.
Big offensive board by Saylor.
Over to Caudell, she'll take a three, and she'll miss it off the front of the iron. Rebound brought down by Montana State. Loose ball on the court, it's gonna go out of bounds, and it will stay with Montana State.
And you just gotta watch those bounce passes. I know that Blair Braxton, she's getting a nice high five from Riley Nordgaard, who's telling her, hey, keep working hard in there, but you cannot make a pass without authority against a team like Idaho State, because they will have hands right there.
Caudell working it around the horn, picked up by Grandin. Swings it over to Junker Meyer.
Shot clock down to 9.
Turnaround shot, Ferris won't go, gets her own rebound, puts the second shot, that one goes. And Montana State pushes the lead out to 3, 29-26.
Again, just that physicality aspect. I mean, Peyton Ferris is only 5'9", and she's battling in there, relentless on getting her own rebound. She's just a baller. She's a hooper, that girl.
Grace Kenyon, down low, ball goes out of bounds. And it will go off of Montana State.
I know my dad was really excited to go up and say to Peyton Ferris, hey, I watched you in your final high school game when you scored 42 points against Belt. And she didn't win, but boy, she was a fun player to watch all through her high school years as well as her college career.
Shot didn't go, but there's her putback up and in. That's why you follow your shot, kids.
Right.
Down low again, good looks for Montana State and Idaho State, both on both ends of the court, running their offense well and getting shots off rebounds. Riley Nordgaard right now leading all scorers with, Nordgaard's got 11, Peyton Ferris leading all scorers with 12.
But Idaho State has had an answer. It's a nice three.
So far it seems that way, that every time, Montana State, Idaho State got off to that double-digit lead right out of the gate, and then Montana State makes a run, Idaho State's right back. And there you go, once again, as Grace Kenyon lays it up and in, and she's got double digits on the day.
She averaged 10.5 points during conference, so she's been there in the mix for this Idaho State team, obviously a starter, but her baskets have come at critical times during the tournament run.
Long three-point shot attempt, up and good.
I don't think Peyton Ferris can miss right now. Let's take a look at where she's at. Well, she's 5 for 10 from the floor. She's feeling it.
Lead is up to 4 with under a minute to go, 32-28. And a foul is going to go against Caudell.
Binford giving some words of encouragement to Hannah over there to keep working hard.
That's only the first team foul for Montana State. As physical as this game is, the officials are letting both teams play. Idaho State only has 3 team fouls here in the quarter. So 49 seconds left to go.
I struggle with some of that as being a former post player. You're battling, and how could you just have 1 to 3 for fouls? But like I said, they don't ask us for our opinion over here.
Turnaround three-point shot is missed. Lindsey Brown can't get it to go, and here comes Peyton Ferris with 30 seconds exactly left to go here in the first half. Montana State leading by 4, largest lead of the game for the Bobcats. And they'll try to add to it. 4-second differential between the game and the shot clock. Caudell picked up by Grandin. Cross court over to Junker Meyer. Loses the handle but dishes it off over on the left side. Peyton Ferris is there for a potential offensive rebound, but here comes Idaho State going the other way. Grandin shot at the buzzer, won't go. Airballed, nearly put back up and in. Freya Newton was there but couldn't get it to fall. 32-28, 4-point game for the Montana State Bobcats. As it was a tremendous performance for both teams. Now, first off, let's look at what Idaho State had to do. They were up by 10 points early on, Krista, but Montana State comes back in a big way. We kind of knew the Bobcats would make a run, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, they did, and I think in that timeout, that critical timeout, Binford said, hey, we got to get after these guys on the defensive end. You know, they're having way too many good looks, and I think they upped the pressure on the defensive end, and that led to good offensive opportunities. But you do have to hand it to Idaho State. They took away that transition for the Cats. They like to get up and push the ball. This was a fairly evenly matched half. Montana State not beating the Bengals on the boards. They're holding an advantage there, which I think if you're Binford, you got to tell your girls to get after it on the glass heading into this second half.
After a slow game for Montana State shooting the ball to begin with, they got hot in the second half. Or in the second quarter, excuse me. They shot 41% for the half, Idaho State 36%. And rebounds pretty good for both sides, neither team really turning it over.
I think Montana State made a surge there. They were getting pretty pounded there for a while, but Idaho State throws a lot of weapons at you, and they are relentless, they're scrappy. There's a loose ball, and there is going to be black gathered around that ball.
No doubt about it. All right, great first half. Second half action coming up. We'll take a look at your first half highlights, get you ready for the second half of the championship game on the women's side of the bracket. Winner of this goes to the NCAA tournament. It's Montana State leading 6-seeded Idaho State 32-28.
I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear. But kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it Cranberry Almond. Give kind a try.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it cranberry almond. Give kind a try.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
(32-28), 4-point lead for Montana State. Idaho State had a big lead in the first quarter of 10 points, but Montana State reeled them back in. Scott Gerard alongside Krista Redpath, as we got great second half action. Winner wins the Big Sky Conference tournament, advances to the NCAA tournament, where they'll represent the conference next week. So much on the line for both of these teams coming into this game tonight, Krista, and you can tell there's a lot of emotion and a lot of excitement out on the court for these two teams.
There is. You're feeling it. You've worked so hard your whole season, and it comes down to this half. Having been a player that's played in 4 of these games and gone to the NCAA tournament 4 times, it's just something that's so amazing to experience. And I'm happy for these girls to even get to have this opportunity to compete for this.
Let's take a look at some first half highlights, starting with Montana State. It didn't look good early on. They were down 12-10 right out of the gate, but of course the league MVP comes up and makes some big plays.
You look at this Montana State team, they like to push the ball. That's definitely their comfort zone. You see Rebecca Hatchard there, off the bench. She gives them a good surge. Another big, powerful play by Madeline Smith, who comes off the bench. Montana State, you got to point to that depth. They just have it.
Riley Norgard with 11 points in the first half, but Peyton Ferris with 15 on 6 of 11 shooting, including 1 of 3 from beyond the three-point line.
Well, if you're Montana State, you're going to look to your veteran leadership. Riley Norgard, Peyton Ferris, those 2 girls have been here. Last year, I look at what happened to them with losing, being a number 1 seed and being knocked off by Idaho State. They have something to prove today.
Yeah, they certainly do, and especially when they were down early. No panic. They kept things calm, collected, and they were able to come back and take the 4-point lead. Now let's switch gears and talk about Idaho State, as the Bengals, man, they had it rolling early on, especially from beyond the three-point line.
Yeah, this is a team that can hurt you both inside and out. Took a look at Freya Newton having a big 3 there. They have weapons, and they're using all of them here during this tournament.
Sailor Grandin, who's had a tremendous tournament, continues to play really well and has hit big shots, and they're going to need more big shots from her in the second half. Again, you see a great look from Grace Kenyon.
It's that athletic move by Grace Kenyon.
Yeah, Grace Kenyon doesn't get enough love for this team. Number 2, she had a big game in the semifinals, and she's got 11 tonight on 5 of 10 shooting.
She just gives an athletic look to this Idaho State team. She is around the ball in most of the plays.
So let's pretend like you're Seton Sobolewski and you're Idaho State. What's the message in that huddle right now?
Well, for Seton, I don't think the message has changed all year. It is just to get after it, and that is his message. They're scrappy. They're going to make it difficult for you to get good looks. They're going to pound the boards.
Yep.
And offensively, I feel like they've really been spreading the ball, and they've been patient on offense. They use that high post when they need to, but they've had players that have just been able to make big shots when it counts. And I think that's what's prevailed this Idaho State team to even being here today. You know, I've been so impressed with the play of Saylor Grandin through the whole tournament. They wouldn't be here without that girl.
And for Montana State, more of the same, just keep the pressure on.
Yeah, Montana State likes to push the ball, so I think that they are in their most comfortable play when they can get up and run. They've got long and lean athletic players, lots of finishers, but they're gonna have to cross the T's and dot the I's in the second half against a very scrappy Idaho State team.
All right, set to inbound the ball. Here we go. Idaho State, 18-13 overall, 12-8 in conference play. And they are taking Montana State to the wire here in the first half. Let's see if they can cut into this 4-point lead. Grace Kenyon, again, in double figures in the first half with 11 points. Vera DeRay down low to Lindsey Brown, has the ball stolen away. Junker Meyer comes up with it.
Can't overlook this Montana State team and their defense ability. We talked a lot about Idaho State and their scrappiness. Montana State does a really good job using their size as well.
Peyton Ferris can't get the shot to go. Here comes Grace Kenyon. She's gonna push, takes Junker Meyer into the lane. Riley Nordgaard comes from behind and ties her up, and the ball will go back to Montana State.
There's one thing about Peyton Ferris. She doesn't hide her emotions. She wears them on her sleeve. So you'll always see how that girl is feeling. Looks like she got poked in the eye or hit or something.
Hannah Caudell crossing the timeline. Over to Peyton Ferris. Peyton Ferris wants to drive. Grace Kenyon D's her up. Ferris will still take the shot, can't get it to go. And Freya Newton with the rebound.
Blair Braxton doing a good job though trying to read Peyton. You know, she's the girl down low. She's got to move out of there. She's got to know when to get out of that key when Peyton wants to drive to the hoop.
3-point shot attempt up and rattles out. Lindsey Brown tries to get the rebound, and they're going to get Braxton with the foul, trying to fight in and rip it away.
She just came in late, and again, Blair Braxton, the freshman, she's going to have a seat here with 3 fouls. Young player, but a lot of promise for this Montana State team. They're going to have many years of her, and I look to Blair Braxton being a force in the Big Sky in the years to come.
Long inbound pass, nearly stolen away. Idaho State holds on. Hannah Caudell was there to try to break up the pass.
Ran into Riley Norgaard's mom at the half. Ball and nerves if you're a parent.
Oh, I bet. Halftime of a championship game. Grace Kenyon into the lane, lays it up, gets it to go. Great individual effort by Grace Kenyon.
Yeah, it's not easy being a parent to some of these kids.
Yeah. Hannah Caudell, straightaway 3, won't go. Vera DeRay with the rebound. 2-on-2 break, shot up. Vera DeRay gets it to fall.
Big play, Montana State late to get back on defense. And if you're Idaho State, you're gonna capitalize on that.
Junker Meyer coming down the court. Peyton Ferris, straightaway 3. Actually, that's Annika Lai with his shot that won't go. And here comes Idaho State.
Got some rowdy Idaho State fans behind us that thought there was a push-off.
Yes.
Crazy Bengals.
Picked up by Riley Nordgaard. Over to Lindsey Brown. Brown on the baseline, can't find anything. Swings it back over to Freya. Back to Brown. Brown thinks about a 3. Instead, she'll drive. She'll be forced to kick it out, and she traveled with it. Lindsey Brown pointing to her foot, said it didn't leave the court. What are you talking about?
She traveled. Like having the BAMs here, though. It's adding to a little bit of the fan atmosphere. It's a long week in Reno, and with this tournament setup, it's a lot to ask of fans to travel down here and make this run with their team. You'd have to take a week off of work. Reno's not easy to get into, but again, they're really trying to build something here with a neutral site.
Yeah. Last night was a great atmosphere between Eastern Washington and Weaver State in that semifinal game. Both those fan bases traveled really well. Imagine
again,
the
if
same
you're one
thing
of those
today.
top seeds, though, you know you're going to be playing Thursday through Saturday, so it's a little bit easier. You're Idaho State. You're battling from Monday on.
Riley Nordgaard can't get the layup to go, and she gets hit with a foul on the rebound. She'll take a seat over on the bench. For Riley, keep an eye on this one. That's her third foul.
If you're Montana State, you don't like that. You got to protect Riley Norgard for sure, heading into this last stretch.
32-32. Tie ball game. Montana State has yet to score in this third quarter. Quickly down the court, Peyton Ferris. Hands over to Caudell. Hannah looking to drive. Down low to Ferris. Ferris has the ball kicked away, out of bounds. That'll stay with Montana State.
Montana State, real agile on their feet, and they're a team, you know, when you say teams like to push early, you got to have good ball handlers, and all 5 of the girls on the floor right now can put the ball on the floor for this Bobcat team.
Driving into the paint, block. A lot of contact down low.
Yeah, that was a block. From here, I didn't think she had her foot. Well, let's take a look at it. I was quick to say something here, but
she was close. But I agree with you. I think it's blocked. I don't think she had enough time to get set up, and she, I think, got the wind knocked out of her too. And that's, by the way, that's Lindsey Brown down on the court as she took the brunt of Rebecca Hatchard barreling into the lane.
And Lindsey Brown, just quite the player. I mean, I've been hard on her with calling the travel and saying that she didn't have the charge there, but you have to admire any kiddo that is willing to put their body in the line of fire.
Yep.
And I say kiddo because these guys all seem like kids to me since I played so long ago. Just a tough player. Lindsey, she had 16 hard-fought points against Montana, only 4 against Northern Colorado, but I would say that she has made plays when it counted for this Idaho State team, on the defensive end especially.
Yep, first shot up and in for Hatchard. She'll have one more, 5'8" junior from Australia. Didn't play a lot in the regular season. In fact, only averaged about 2 points a game. But she hits both free throws and gives Montana State the lead back at 34-32. So Idaho State trying to tie or take the lead on this possession. Freya Newton on that right wing. Swings it back over to Saylor Grandin. Foul away from the ball, and they're going to go low, and they're going to get Rebecca Hatchard with a foul.
Rebecca Hatchard was just a step behind. I saw Hannah Caudell kind of looking at her like, hey, are we going to switch or fight through this screen? Communication becomes key on that defensive end.
Into the lane. Grace Canyon can't get anything going. Ors is going to drive. She puts it off the glass, won't go.
That was a good no foul, though, however, by Rebecca Hatchard.
Montana State up 34-32. Trying to drive into the paint. Junker Meyer over to Ferris for 3. Won't go. Saylor Grandin with the rebound. Long pass down to Grace Canyon. She's got a step. Puts the layup up and in.
Idaho State.
I don't know what the quarterback situation is for the Idaho State football team, but Saylor Grandin may need to try out.
Put a helmet on her.
Long cross-court pass. Caudell thinks about a 3, drives, kicks it over to Junker Meyer. She'll take the 3, won't go.
Delaney struggling from behind the arc. She's been a player that's given solid minutes to this Bobcat team, and she's averaged just under 8 points a game.
Long pass, 3-point shot attempt, left wing, buried it.
Oh, and Idaho State doing such a good job with ball movement, spreading out this Montana State team.
It was Bianca Thacker who had a big night in the semifinals to keep Idaho State alive from beyond the 3-point line. Hits a big one there, and Idaho State now with a 3-point lead, 37-34 on a 5-0 run. Hannah Caudell.
Shot clock down to 9.
Down to Smith. Back up top to Peyton Ferris. Over to Caudell for a 3, short. But Junker Meyer's there to chase down the rebound. Good board. Back to Smith, she'll take a 3, miss it. Once again, and another offensive rebound on a long one coming out off the short 3-point shot.
Coach Steve not happy about that. He does not like to give up 2 or 3 shot opportunities to this Montana State team because they are bound to make one.
Yeah,
just
Peyton
like
Ferris.
that.
Yep, and especially if Peyton Ferris gets the ball that close to the basket.
Giving up 2 or 3 shot opportunities spells for a score for Montana State.
Straightaway three for Kenyon, won't go. Rebound, fought for, brought down by Rebecca Hatcher from Montana State. Three-point shot attempt, left wing, won't go on a quick shot. Ferris is fighting for the rebound. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it'll go off of Idaho State and will remain with Montana State. 37-36, Idaho State leading by 1. 3:42 left to go here on WatchBigSky.com.
Heating up.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling. Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
Idaho State has fought back. They take a 1-point lead, 37-36 over Montana State. Winner of this wins the Big Sky Conference tournament and goes on to the NCAA tournament, which begins next week. And I got to imagine you played in 4 of those tournament games at the NCAA level. I can't imagine there's nothing, there are very few things as fun as that for a player.
It's just so much fun to get there and represent the Big Sky. The feeling is just pretty neat when you work so hard and you put in all that time in the off season.
Just don't bring up Texas Tech, right?
That's right. That was a tough one. We were a number 9 seed my sophomore year and playing down at Stanford, and we had a close one there. Whew.
All right, Idaho State gets the rebound and has the ball and a 1-point lead. Handoff once again.
Fortunately,
top of the lane, ball's deflected, fight for the board. It's going to go back to Idaho State. Kokendorfer.
Shot clock did not reset because possession did not change.
Saylor Grandin takes a 3, airballs it, and quickly going the other way is Riley Nordgaard. Nordgaard under control. Bass is batted away, goes out of bounds off of Idaho State.
We had a good run at Montana, and that really helped with the seeding process. Unfortunately, if you don't have a team that consistently wins the Big Sky and goes to the big dance, those seeds are usually a 16 every time.
Yeah. Montana State, Riley Nordgaard. Baseline drive, shot is blocked away big time as Bianca Thacker.
Shot clock down to 11.
Yeah, gets a hold of that shot in a big way. Back into the ball game comes Freya Newton. By the way, Riley Nordgaard out on the court with 3 fouls. Keep an eye on that one. Drive, shot blocked away, and a foul down low, and they're going to call a block. That's going to be the 14th foul on Montana State.
What are they going to call it on here? They called it again on Lindsey Brown, and that is going to put her in some foul trouble here.
Excuse me, that's the 2nd team foul for Idaho State.
That's 3 for her.
And that's going to send Oleana Squires to the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
And like we said earlier in the broadcast, there's no shortage of contact under there, but it is going to come down to positioning underneath.
Grace Kenyon checks back into the ball game for Idaho State. Second shot up and good, giving Montana State the lead back 38-37 with 2:49 left to go. Back and forth we go. Great game between these two teams that split their regular season head-to-head matchups.
It's been a tremendous run by this Idaho State team, plagued by injuries this year. They've had to overcome a lot, losing Brooke Blair, losing Megan Hochstein to concussion protocol, Saylor Grandin having that finger issue.
Saylor Grandin into the lane, kicks it back over to Kenyon. She can't, she finally is able to handle it. Over to Kokendorfer, back to Kenyon. 1 second, pull-up shot, Gets it to go.
Big shot by Grace Kenyon.
As the shot clock expires.
Big shot. It's not easy to put up a shot and make it with the ticks coming off that shot clock.
Straightaway three, up, won't go. Fight for the board, brought down. Here comes Lindsey Brown over to Freya Newton. Doesn't have numbers, so she'll wait for her teammates to come join her. Cross-court pass. Kokendurfer is going to take a three. Won't go. Grace Kenyon for the rebound.
If you're Idaho State and you have numbers like that, you're taking the ball to the hole. It's hard to pop a three when you've got two Montana State players on the floor.
Idaho State leads by one, 39-38. Saylor Grandin, three, won't go. Rebound, brought down, knocked out of bounds by Freya Newton. And it will go to Montana State.
But nothing is uncontested by this Idaho State team. You look at the defensive pressure of Freya Newton. You come down with a rebound, Scott, you really have to control that ball because there is going to be a scrappy player trying to grab it from you.
Caudell gets the ball. Her Montana State Bobcats trailing by one, 39-38. Driving into the lane. Ferris, shot, won't go. Rebound. Montana State holds. Back to Ferris. Ferris getting positioning. Turnaround shot off the glass, won't go again. Another rebound. This time, though, will be brought down by Idaho State. Freya Newton comes out of the scrum. She wants to drive. Will hand back over into the lane. Shot blocked away once again, and Ferris holds on to possession. Freya Newton knocks it out of her hands, but Ferris is able to still hold on.
Crazy that there was a no call there.
50 seconds left. 1 point lead for the Bengals. Down low to Ferris. Shot, no good. Rebound. Brought down by Idaho State, and a foul on Montana State down low.
A few uncharacteristic misses from Peyton. Just short. Wonder if she's getting a little tired. I looked at Binford to sub her out and let her break now.
You know, one thing. One thing you've seen out of Seton Sobolewski, he's been, and both teams really have been substituting quite liberally. They know for Idaho State, this is their fourth game of the week. They played Monday, Wednesday, yesterday, and Friday, and today.
That's a lot of basketball. And, you know, you look at Idaho State, they were on the road at Montana State and Montana for their last week of conference play. This has been a long couple weeks of basketball.
Barhoum into the game for Montana State. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Grace Kenyon has the ball tipped away by Junker Meyer, and she's going the other way on the steal. Ball behind the back, lost the handle, and it goes back to Idaho State.
She had such a nice steal there using her long and lanky arms, but just not able to sustain on the take. You gotta keep control of that ball and be strong against Idaho State. You're not gonna get bailed out on a call like that.
Saylor Grandin will inbound. And here we go. 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Freya Newton has the ball tipped away. She's able to hold back onto it. Vera DeRay with 5 seconds has to create something. Behind the back dribble into the lane. Over to Freya Newton. 3-point shot at the buzzer. Won't go. Had a good look.
Yeah, she did.
Couldn't get it to fall, but the Bengals will take a 1-point lead into the fourth quarter. 39-38. One more quarter of basketball to go to crown a champion on WatchBigSky.com.
For your next opportunity, discover your opportunity at Idaho State University.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
quarter, 39-38, Idaho State leading by 1.
I know, look at us.
All right, we're ready to go. Seton Sobolewski, last-minute instruction to his squad as they get ready for what will be a quarter to define who goes to the NCAA tournament.
We're talking about our all-tournament picks here, which has been tough to choose, as I feel like there has been so many players that have battled, and all of these games have been close. We haven't had one blowout. Scott?
No, not on the women's side. And it doesn't appear like we're going to have one here. Into the lane, Idaho State. Saylor Grandin kicks it back over to Vera DeRay. She can't get it to go. Nordgaard with the rebound. Junker-Meyer swings it back over to Lai. Annika Lai into the game to start the fourth quarter. Cross court over to Junker-Meyer to Caudell. 10
Gosh,
seconds.
we've had more shot clock ticks down as both of these teams just showing their defensive pressure.
Riley Nordgaard with a great back to the basket game, lays it up and in and gives Montana State the 1-point lead.
She just sneaks in there. But we've had to count that shot clock down on most possessions. It's a credit to the defensive effort.
So Idaho State trying to take the lead back. Saylor Grandin on the crossover, loses the handle. Back over to Freya Newton. Newton into the lane. Kicks it back over to Lindsey Brown. Loses the handle but draws the foul. 40-39, 1-point game.
Well, we know this game hasn't been high offensively in terms of score. You know, you call a Sac State game and that feels like it's just an offensive surge. However, I think both teams have made baskets when it's counted, Scott.
Saylor Grandin, straightaway three, won't go. Freya Newton tries to go over the top to poke away the rebound, but Riley Nordgaard will have none of it and rips it down. Down low, shot up, won't go.
Just a little strong off the glass. Annika knows that as she gives a clap running the other way.
Driving into the lane, loses the handle. It'll stay with Idaho State. Bengals down by 1, 40-39, 8:17 left to go in the ball game. Championship game, winner goes to the NCAA tournament. Down low, Grace Canyon, good look, shot up, and can't get it to fall, but she'll go to the free throw line. Grace Canyon over the semifinals and the championship game has really put this team on her shoulders.
Foul situation. Montana State picks up 2 early fouls in this quarter, and we know that the foul situation will come into play down the stretch.
First free throw down, second free throw down as well. 41-40, Idaho State with a 1-point lead. Caudell posting up, Lai down low. Back to Caudell for 3, won't go. Look at Nordgaard with the rebound.
Those arms.
Kicks it back over to Caudell. 3-point shot, or excuse me, just inside the 3-point shot as Annika Lai drops it and gives Montana State back to 1-point game, 1-point lead.
But that hustle play was Riley Nordgaard.
Yep.
Keeping it alive for Montana State, giving them that second chance opportunity.
Into the lane, shot, won't go. Riley Nordgaard with the rebound once again. Nordgaard's got 6 rebounds, 13 points. Long 3 by Nordgaard, short. Rebound fought for, and they'll go on Lindsey Brown, who is not happy.
Coach Seton is just frustrated with that call. The problem is she's been conversing with the officials, and I found in my history of playing, it's just a good idea to not talk to them. And I feel like she has been in the mix, and she is a hard-nosed player, but positioning has not been great.
Backdoor pass, up and in. Annika Lai lays it up and in.
3 defenders hanging on Peyton Ferris, and she does a really good job distributing that ball to Annika.
4th point for Annika Lai in this ball game. Timeout on the court, 7:12 left to go. 44-41, Montana State leading by 3 over the Bengals of Idaho State, and it just gets the feel like we're going to see one of these games that's going to go right down to the wire.
Absolutely. This is a game of momentum shifts, and right now it is in the Cats' favor as they've kept it alive off of hustle plays. We're seeing some Idaho State highlights here. But right here, the hustle play of Riley Nordgaard, she is the one that made this play happen. We're going to watch her again here go to work.
Nordgaard with a layup, and again, if there's a loose ball on the court, chances are Riley Nordgaard's around it. The same can be said for Idaho State and some of their players, including Freya Newton. But again, you got to go to your stars here. Grace Kenyon's got 19 on 8 of 15 shooting. Peyton Ferris has 17 on 7 of 18 shooting. You just, at this point, you can be like, you got to rely on your big guns to go get it done.
You absolutely do. However, I will say that Peyton Ferris did a really good job of finding Annika Lai down underneath the basket. And what I like about Peyton Ferris is she does have a tendency to draw in that physicality aspect, but she's done a good job of finding her teammates when she anticipates that double and triple team. And if you're Montana State down the stretch, you are going to rely on that depth. And of course, the ball is going to be expected to go into Riley Nordgaard and Peyton Ferris's hands, but I have to say, Annika Lai has been just a difference maker for this Bobcat team when it counted.
Yep. 44-41, Montana State leading by 3, 7:12 left to go in the ball game. It's Championship Saturday coming up later on this afternoon. It'll be North Dakota squaring off against Weber State for the championship game of the Big Sky Men's Tournament. That game will start at 5:30. You can see it on ESPNU. Freya Newton.
Cats come out in a little bit of a zone here.
Picked up by Nordgaard. Cross-court pass. Three-point shot attempt. Up, won't go. Tipped around, and Idaho State will pull down the offensive rebound.
These loose balls become very critical.
Freya Newton. Up top to Thacker. Down low, give and go. Lindsey Brown draws the foul. She'll go to the free throw line. Big foul there. That's going to be 4 on Riley Nordgaard.
That's a tough call here. If you're Binford, she's a catalyst on this team, but you just got to have her sit. You got to take her out because she's just too critical.
Rebecca Hatcher is going to come into this ball game, number 30. Riley Nordgaard's going to sit. You probably can't sit her for long, but you're probably going to try to get, what, about 2 minutes there?
Yeah, you are.
About the 4-minute mark?
I mean, the one thing that this team has relied on, you got to think back to that first game when Ferris and Nordgaard were held to just 6 points, and they still came away with the win. But she's such a catalyst for good things on both ends of the floor. If you're Binford, you just don't want her on the bench down this fourth quarter stretch.
44-42, Montana State leads by 2. Into the lane, shot block, but a foul on Grace Kenyon. And that'll send Annika Lai to the free throw line. Second team foul for Idaho State. Montana State's got 3. First shot up and good. Lai will have one more.
Again, the Big Sky's going to see a couple more years out of Lai as she's only a sophomore.
Yeah, from Boulder, Colorado, the sophomore, having a tremendous tournament. Hits both free throws, pushes the lead back to 4, 46-42, 6:25 left to go.
You don't expect this Idaho State team to roll over. Just a small lead in Montana State's favor. We know how Idaho State plays, right, Scott?
Yep. They'll fight you every step of the way. Grace Kenyon looked to be a pretty good entry pass down to Lindsey Brown, but she couldn't hold on to it. Ball goes out of bounds. Turnover for Idaho State. Lai up top. Hands over to Peyton Ferris. Peyton back to Junker Meyer.
Shot clock down to 9.
Into the lane, stolen away, ripped away by Freya Newton. There's your co-defensive
and that was
player
a nice
of the year.
Defensive play right there.
Ball low, down low. Grace Kenyon's there, and a layup up and in. 46-44. Great pass by Freya Newton down the court.
And notice Freya Newton coming in, stepping in big time. She makes the huge stop the defensive play that leads to offensive opportunity. That's been something that Idaho State has relied on.
Peyton Ferris up and under, lays it up, gets the foul and the shot and one opportunity from your regular season player of the year.
Peyton Ferris doing what she does best.
Fakes right, goes left, dips the shoulder, gets it up and in, draws the foul.
And what I like about Peyton, too, is just her ability to finish around the basket.
By the way, this is a big blow for Idaho State. Not only they give up the 1-and-1, but the tournament has come to an end for Lindsey Brown. She fouls out. That's her 5th foul. 3 points. Good defensive player for this Idaho State team, and she'll have to sit out the rest of this game.
That's not great news for Idaho State.
Ferris misses the rebound. Saylor Grandin with the rebound. Vera DeRay back to Freya Newton.
That takes away some of Idaho State's size.
Saylor Grandin, pull-up shot, won't go. Rebound, Montana State up by 4 with 5 minutes left to go, looking to add to it. Caudell over to Junker Meyer. Cross-court pass back to Caudell.
Shot clock down to 10.
Drive baseline, layup, up, and good.
Oh, big basket there from Rebecca Hatchard.
Biggest lead for Montana State of 6, 4:33 left to go. Bobcats sensing some blood in the water. Attacking at this point, Freya Newton. Idaho State has to answer into the lane. Cross-court pass. Freya Newton tries to spin baseline.
Shot clock down to 10. If you're this Idaho State team, you need to convert on offensive opportunity down this stretch.
They're going to call a foul on Montana State. That resets the shot clock. Also gives the Bobcats their 14th foul. 4:11 left to go. Montana State leading by 6, 50-44 on WatchBigSky.com.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
We know we don't look
like most nurses you've met.
But when, as a single mom, I needed to ensure a secure future for my son,
And I wanted to save lives.
we enrolled in the Montana State University College of Nursing's Caring for Our Own program.
At MSU, we received training that allows us to return home to treat our people. At Montana State University, we learn to heal and strengthen our communities.
50-44, Montana State leading by 6 with 4:11 left to go. Krista, you and I have about 4 minutes of a broadcast left. This has been a lot of fun hanging out with you.
This has been so fun, and the tournament, building this tournament and learning with these teams along the way, it's just you really get to know some of these players. And
Yeah.
it has been so fun working with you, Scott.
Oh, this has been a blast. And by the way, big thanks to our stat guy, Chris, who's done a tremendous job. On-site TV, executive producer Brian Rote, Ross Rumsey, Stan Batista, associate producers. Such a tremendous job by everybody involved.
Oh, the athletic play, not able to fall, but Grace Kenyon.
Director Joe Condry as well. So many guys involved in this broadcast. And big thanks to everybody for trying to make us look good, which
Exactly.
is not easy. All right, Riley Nordgaard. Well,
Big hustle play here is Riley Nordgaard coming up big with that offensive board.
and a shot up by Peyton Ferris and in.
Again, you just point to these two veteran leaders down the stretch. Nordgaard with that big offensive rebound, and Peyton Ferris just looking comfortable as she finds her offensive rhythm for sure.
All right, 8-point game, 52-44. Idaho State starting to run out of gas and run out of time. Grace Kenyon thinks about a three. She'll take it, and she'll bury it.
She buries it. Timeout, Idaho State. Big basket.
Don't put dirt on the grave yet for Idaho State. Down 5 with 3:19 left to go. 52-47. There's the layup down low for Montana State. And again, a reverse going baseline, and Idaho State gives up that shot. But, you know, again, Freya Newton with some long cross-court or down-court passes. And Grace Kenyon has just played a tremendous game. She's got 24 points for Idaho State as the Bengals just, hey, this is what we've expected out of them. They just won't say die. Whether it's injuries early in the season, they just continue to fight.
Yeah, that was a huge play. Watching the replays, Riley Norgard's rebound there, and Peyton Ferris was able to convert. But again, you're absolutely right, though. It is going to come down to who can make shots at the end and where this momentum shift occurs.
Riley Norgard bringing the ball down the court.
You're Montana State. You want to take every second off the
Norgard's
shot clock, I guess. Here I'm saying, take every tick off the clock, and Riley Norgard stepping up big, feeling it.
It's as if Riley heard you and said, I think I'm going to do the opposite of that. Buries the three.
It's one of those where if she misses, you're going, don't do that. She makes it, and everyone goes quiet.
Nice give and go. Sailor Grandin lays it up and in. Into the lane, Payne Ferris has the ball taken out of her hands. Montana State holds on to possession. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Back to Ferris at the free throw line. Over to Riley Nordgaard, who just hit a monstrous three in this game. She dishes it back over to Ferris.
Shot clock down to 6.
Ferris into the lane, draws contact, no foul.
And Idaho State, Coach Seaton over there saying you got to push the ball.
Grace Kenyon has to kick it back over to Orr. She'll take a three and short on.
Just short.
55-49, 6-point game. Idaho State desperately needs a stop here. Cross court over to Ferris. Ferris into the lane, tries to lay it up, but she's fouled and she'll go to the free throw line.
She does such a good job of drawing that contact. That's been something that Peyton Ferris has been able to capitalize on, and she's got a sea of black all around her there.
Grace Kenyon caught her across the arm pretty good. Grace Kenyon's been so good in this game, 24 points. But Riley Nordgaard with 16, Ferris with 21, now make it 22, has answered every Idaho State run. Remember, it was 12-2 right out of the gate, Idaho State with a 10-point lead. And since then, Montana State has, for the most part, been in, had good control of this game. Second shot up and in.
Peyton Ferris, 7 hard-fought rebounds, 0 turnovers. Both her and Riley Nordgaard do not have a turnover in this game. And the boards have evened out. It's almost evenly matched at 38-36, and I would say that's been a differentiator in this second half as well, as Montana State crashing the boards.
Freya Newton, cross-court pass is stolen away. Idaho State with a steal of their own, as Sailor Grandin will take the three and can't get it to fall. Look at Riley Nordgaard there for the board.
Just the hustle play.
Ball still on the court, picked up again by Montana State. Officials letting this thing go.
Yeah, that's got to make sure no one gets hurt here.
I mean, I know we all have flights to catch, but there are some fouls out there, it seems like.
Yeah.
57-49, 8-point lead. Freya Newton, by the way, just broke the tournament record for most minutes played in a single tournament with 134 minutes.
Just a veteran leader for this Idaho State team. You just have to hand it to her on that defensive end. She has made so many stops that have put this team in good offensive position.
134 minutes played in a single, in about a six-day span is just a grind for a player. There's Nordgaard with that three.
Just a huge three.
Just nobody saw that coming.
No, I mean 22 seconds on the shot clock, and she just pulls up. And again, here's another hustle play for her underneath the basket, just coming up with those loose balls. And I do think the difference maker, one of them that we can point to in this second half, has been the rebounding of Montana State. Now, it does hurt if you are Idaho State with Lindsey Brown on the bench, taking away some of their size. But Montana State really working hard on the glass.
All right, 8-point spread in this one with $1:20 left to go. If you're Seton Sobolewski, what are you telling your team right now?
Well, you just don't have a lot of time being down by 8. Tough, 1:20 Do you foul? Do you start the foul fest?
I think you do.
I think they started it, but no one was calling it.
Yeah, that's true. I think you got to put them at the free throw line. Montana State, very good free throw shooter.
What you don't want to do, though, is take off the rest of these ticks and foul at the end. If you're going to commit to fouling, you should do it soon. There you go. There's the foul right there. Well, an attempt.
No. Junker Meyer has the ball. Cross court over to Nordgaard. Nordgaard back over to Peyton Ferris. Back to Nordgaard. Has an opportunity for layup. Can't get it to fall. And an offensive
Big
rebound.
board there for Montana State.
Over to Caudell. Idaho State not fouling.
I think they're trying to foul.
Cross court. Ball would have been intercepted there by Grace Canyon, but they're going to get the foul. There's the time the one time Idaho State's like, no, we didn't foul, because Grace Canyon would have come up with a stolen pass.
But the poise of this Montana State team, you know, a team on a mission, trying to punch their ticket to the big dance, the first time since 1993. And Peyton Ferris telling her troops, hey, composure in this last minute of action.
Junker Meyer misses the first free throw. She'll have one more. 56 seconds left to go. Second shot is up and rattles home. Not the prettiest shot, but it's a three-possession game with under a minute to go. Fran Newton over to Grace Canyon. Got to get something off quick. Three-point baseline shot up and buried. Orr's trying to keep this team alive for Idaho State. 6-point game, 58-52.
I have to say, this Idaho State team has just responded. Every time the Cats are just about to pull away. However, it's going to be tough. 6-point lead with 45 seconds left against a very poised Montana State team.
And again, some of the people you want to look, if you're Idaho State, maybe fouling. Peyton Ferris, a 64% free throw shooter. You got Junker Meyer, who just went 1 for 2. She's 75%. Probably want to stay away from Riley Nordgaard. She's almost an 80% free throw shooter. Caudell about 75%. So those are some of the players that, you know, that Montana State can send to the line here in those kind of situations. Score 58-52, 6-point game with 45 seconds left to go in this one. Montana State looking for their first tournament victory, or their first tournament championship since 1993.
Yeah, that's a year and a stat that you want to overcome, and this team feeling it. They've just had a hard-fought season.
Inbound down low, Caudell is Montana State gets hit with the foul. And Idaho State trying to create something here. With a 6-point lead, Idaho State's got a lot of work to do. I know you've been part of these situations. It's kind of a interesting back and forth between these two teams. You know, if you hit your free throws, you're probably close to a victory. But if you don't, then things tighten up real quick.
Right, and you can see that Montana State using that timeout, they just didn't feel comfortable inbounding the ball. And they have to be strategic here. You know, 45 seconds, a lot can happen.
6-point game, 45 seconds left to go. Montana State up by 6. And here we go. Montana State set to inbound on that far sideline. After the timeout.
Again, that timeout allowing Montana State.
Caudell can drive, but she's going to play keep away at this point.
It's funny, she had a wide look there. For a minute, I was like, which way are we going? You know, it allowed Montana State to advance the ball, which that is a critical part with the timeouts and being able to advance.
30 seconds left, or excuse me, 39 seconds left to go in this ball game. Montana State with Lai stepping up to the free throw line. First shot is missed. Fran Newton.
You're Idaho State, you got to get something up quick.
To Orrs. Orrs into the lane. 2-point shot missed. And the rebound fought for, and Riley Nordgaard fights for it. Orrs and Ferris are down there as well. And it'll go out of bounds.
This is looking like a Montana State
they're
victory here.
They're going to get Peyton Ferris for a foul. And that'll send Idaho State to the free throw line. Bengals in the bonus. 7-point game, 59-52, 22 seconds left to go.
Those loose ball fouls are tough at the end of the game here.
59-53. Montana State band feeling pretty confident at this point.
Just a tremendous effort by both of these teams. You just got to commend both of these teams for the efforts.
Trisha Binford wants a timeout. She'll get it.
Quick 30.
5-point game, 59-54 with 22 seconds left to go. Again, Montana State feeling pretty good right now, but stranger things have happened, there's no doubt.
Well, if there's one team that could create some issues from a defensive standpoint, it's Idaho State.
Yeah.
They get after it. They're going to hammer you. And so you have to take care of the ball. And fundamentally, just be sound in your passes, take care of the ball. This Montana State team has just looked focused today, Scott. They have looked like they are a team on a mission.
And at no point panicked when Idaho State came out to an early lead, too.
The difference maker, though, is having Lindsey Brown have to sit on the bench.
Yep. Idaho State nearly steals it. Saylor Grander is going to get called for the foul.
Helping her up, though. Saylor Grandin just playing her heart out. However, she helps Hannah Caudell up. Points to the sportsmanship of both of these teams.
Hannah Caudell set to hit a couple big free throws here. Or at least she'll try to. First one is up and got it. 6-point game, 60-54. Second one up. It drops as well. Hannah Caudell hit 6 3-pointers in that first quarterfinal game. Huge performance for her. And has been a steadying force for this team. Saylor Grandin into the lane. Has to go a cross-court pass. Thacker for 3.
Just throwing up at this point. Oh, and this
Riley
Montana
Nordgaard.
State team.
Ball
wow.
tipped away. Idaho State still has it. Layup and in with 6 seconds left to go. Might be too little, too late. Caudell, with 4 seconds left, is fouled on the inbounds.
And they're just not going to give it up here.
61-56, 5-point game.
Just an incredible run this year by Montana State. You know, last year their tournament hopes were dashed by losing as a #1 seed. And you're seeing some smiles out of this Montana State team. It's got to feel pretty good to get where they are.
No doubt. Caudell misses the free throw. Ferris, by the way, is going to end this game with 23 points. Nordgaard with 16. Annika Lai with 7. 1 of 2 from the free throw line for Junker Meyer. That's actually her first point of the game. 3-point shot at the buzzer won't go. And look here.
Such an awesome celebration by this Montana State team. Well deserved.
Your Big Sky Conference champions, the Montana State Bobcats, have punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament. They've won 3 games, the Streamers are out, and the Bobcats are your champs.
Very cool. You can't take away from this Idaho State effort, though. You look at those girls just heartbroken over there. 4 hard-fought games.
Seton Sobolewski shaking hands with the winning coach, Trisha Binford. What a tremendous game. Final score in this one, 62-56, as Idaho State gave everything they had in this ball game, but the #1 seed, Montana State Bobcats, just too much, and they will represent the Big Sky Conference in the tournament. After suffering the upset last year, they're able to go home with a championship today.
Just the veteran leadership of Riley Nordgaard and Peyton Ferris, just making baskets and stops when it counted. You can see the girls over there celebrating, and big smiles out of Binford. This just feels good, Scott.
It really does. For Montana State, great feeling for that team. tremendous performance from top to bottom for them. Just I mean, this is why you've enjoyed these moments. You know what this is like as someone who's gone through this and have fought through this. Just what are these girls feeling right now?
Well, I think they're just feeling this amazing feeling of getting the win and knowing that all of their efforts have paid off. And this Montana State team has had an up and down season, and they've been able to make their run in their road to Reno, and they prevail.
Tricia Binford's going to join us here in just a moment, as it is a huge win for Montana State, as Montana State gets the victory. Final score 62-56. Tricia Binford will only keep you here for a moment because you have some celebrating to do. Congratulations.
I'm just so proud of this group. They've worked so hard to get the result. It's just it's so gratifying.
Such great.
Yeah, they carried us. You always talk about your seniors leading you, and they've been doing this all day, all games today.